Disco Elysium, a true RPG masterpiece that allows you to explore the vast world of political theory, art, and cryptozoology. Experience through the most epic hangover, now in tabletop format. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you the Disco Elysium tabletop RPG. In this game, you and your 3 friends will be playing as someone who needs to do something. But for your first playthrough, I recommend playing as a cop who is investigating a murder because it mirrors the original game. Yes, you heard it right. Every single one of you will be playing the same character. 4 voices in one head. What could possibly go wrong? So, you gathered your friends and ready to go. First of all, every player must receive a style. It is very important because your style sticks to you for all the game. You cannot change it later. The styles are boring, who acts naturally and adequately, seeing the world and approaching any problem as a normal person would. Sorry, who is a total failure, a disappointment, and the world around him exists only to punish. Superstar, who is the cool and confidence incarnate, and the world around him lives to that too. And last but not least is the Apocalypse, who discovered the truest truth and who sees the world around him as it truly is. You may decide who plays what however you want. You may give styles randomly, or maybe everyone is okay with whatever everyone wants. Or else, the main thing is that everybody are satisfied. If you have 5 players overall, one of them will act as a game master or GM. Again, it is up to you to decide who. GM can never have any styles or roles, and he cannot directly control player's character. Okay, now everyone has a style. It is time to choose your skills. Here are all 24 of them. In the description you will find a link to Wiki page with thorough explanation to what each one of them does, because even a quick run through will take separate video. One mention I will do is that Esprit de Corps skill works not only on cop related stuff, but it represents general camaraderie and togetherness. If you would still have any questions, first subscribe to my channel and then ask everything you would like to know in the comments. If you did not play the original game yet, there is a link to Steam and GOG pages in the description. Actually, seeing what every skill does is much more useful than reading a wiki page. Now to distributing them skills. Players pick skills from a pool until each of them has 5. It does not matter how you do this as long as everybody are okay with it. Remaining 4 skills form the GM's hand, even if you don't have him as a player. After all of this, your table should look somewhat like this. Players, each one with a style and 5 skills, and Game Master with 4 skills. I recommend to print and use cards. Link is in the description. Now to the actual game. Step 1. Distribute roles. 4 of them. Limbic System, Reptilian Brain, Alien Memories, and The Killer. Yes, spelled like this. It is important. Roles are like styles, but you will swap them around each scene. Distribute them randomly and don't worry about what they do for now. Except for Step 2. The Limbic System. A player who got Limbic System names a location where the scene will play out based on one of the skills in GM's hand. For example, electrochemistry is bar or drug den. Physical instrument is gym or fight club. Still with me? Let's run through everything we did this far. We have 5 players. Let's call them Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, and Lord Friedrich Stein de Yolo III, who wants to be a GM, so that we don't have to say his name every time he's mentioned. They don't care about who plays which style, so they distributed them randomly. They decided to draft skills one by one from the pool, and roles are always distributed randomly. Now, Miny, who got Limbic System, wants to play as The Killer. So Miny and Mo swap roles. Next, Mo looks at GM's skills and says that based on GM's endurance, the scene will play out in the gym. Got it? Great. Step 3. The scene. We don't know anything yet. We don't know who we are. We don't know where exactly at the scene we are, or what is around us. Until players start to fill the scene with something, we only know that scene name from Step 2. A player next to the one who named the location does something. It may be anything, a description, a fact, an NPC, their actions, or your character's action, not only using a character, but using anything around. Yes, it's that simple. No dice, no stats, nothing. The only thing is that this something must somehow be based on a skill that player has. Be aware that you can only use one skill at a time, and the result of your action must be fully tied to this skill. For example, you can do physical instrument, I beat this guy and he crumbles like a ragdoll. But you cannot say physical instrument, I beat this guy until he tells me something I want to know. Because in this case, its result is tells me something, which is not a physical instrument result. Keep your actions simple and straightforward so that other players will be able to develop them. Don't be greedy, this is a cooperative game. Also, don't forget that you can not only use skills to succeed, but also to fail. Failing is fun too. Players take their action one by one in a circle, one action at a time, step by step developing a story. When someone feels that you have nothing more to gain from this scene, or everything went out of control and you wanted to stop, a player might suggest moving to the next scene. If all other players agree, the scene ends. If not, that player must continue with a turn. Step 4. Intermission. Now you may need to relax a bit from everything that had occurred. Check your Facebook, share some laughs with friends, or make a cup of tea. After that, it is time to decide what to do next. Each player except for GM must propose a course of action, a goal for your next scene, based on one of their skills. Then, players' roles trigger in that order. The killer! He covers his steps. This player can discard one skill tied to a proposition with that proposition, or one of Reptilian Brain's skill. That skill goes to the GM face down. It is not in the game anymore. Reptilian Brain. He moves you forward. This player chooses one of 3 remaining propositions. This skill's card goes to the center. This will be your goal for the next scene, and the skill tied to it can be used by everyone in this scene. After this scene, next proposition's skill will cover this skill, and it will be out of the game. Alien memory. All of this feels so familiar. This player can swap any number of his skills with that number of GM's skills, and choose 4 of them to place face up. The rest sits face down and cannot be used. Limbic system. Knows about yourself more than you do. Randomly distributes all roles except for his among other players and chooses which role does he want to be in the next scene. He swaps his limbic system card with that role card. A player who got limbic system that way names the next location and the game goes on. The game ends when your plot reaches some sort of logical conclusion and you agree that the game is over. It is possible that a player will become left with no skills at some point. No problems. In that case, he uses GM's hand as his skills during the scene, but he loses ability to directly control the player's character and he doesn't get a vote during intermission. If all players are left without skills and your plot still haven't reached its conclusion, your character had failed and his game is over. But this outcome is very unlikely. And that's it! Now you have the ability to enjoy Disco Elysium with your friends in a cooperative, narrative, extremely replayable tabletop environment. Bully for you! Subscribe to my channel for more content in the future. Leave your questions and opinions in the comments section. Enjoy playing with your friends and have a nice day. С вами был товарищ Комрад. Out.